And so I figured I have a background studying architecture. I've never done a full-size project before, but it would definitely be a really cool project to try and take on. And so with the help of a friend in Wales, we just took that project on. I've built this on an LDV Convoy, which is just kind of a general working truck in the UK. They're dirt cheap, and it's got a Ford Transit engine in it, which is supposedly one of the more reliable engines. We were debating on what the walls and the roof would look like. I kind of wanted some kind of bow top thing that looked a bit like a gypsy caravan, and then wanted the external walls to also kind of have some curvature, which ended up adding a lot of complexity into the construction. When Adam and I were coming up with this idea together, we were kind of just in a pub, like talking about what would we actually do if we were to build a house on the back of a flatbed truck. And one of the things that we were both super excited about was just you could put any door on the back of it that you want to, so why not just a big round hobbit door? I'm pretty happy that we stuck with it. We were working on a pretty tight time frame because I had to get to a World Cup a few days afterwards, so we were working 18-hour days easily. So it was only 4 very, very intense days where we threw up the initial shell. Interior design project took me about 2 weeks.
A lot of it, the batch is just not sliding.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get it. Like, I mean, it's probably the most...
I didn't have as much of Adam's help. He helped me with all the electrical work, which was awesome, but yeah, as far as all the construction and doing all the kitchen and installations and everything, I was just kind of working on my own with that. So the truck ended up costing me about 2,000 Canadian. And then the conversion was on the order of around 1,500 for all the wood, and then all the appliances and solar panels, wind turbine, that was more around 6,000. And then the insurance was one of the really big ones, and that was about 3,000. After buying the truck, first thing I did was spend 3 days trying to insure the thing. It was incredibly difficult to try and insure a crazy, wacky vehicle for a non-resident of the UK. Especially because this was my first car I've ever bought. I have no driving record whatsoever. So I could kind of put any door I wanted to on the back of this thing, so obviously go for a hobbit door when you have a choice. And so this doorknob we got from a reclamation yard in Cardiff, and it's over 300 years old, solid brass. I have no idea what the scrap metal value is, but we got a pretty killer deal on it. The couches are one of my favorite features. My friend Adam, who helped me construct the van, his mum is an amazing upholsterer and seamstress and interior designer, and she helped with all of this and just did an amazing job. And so yeah, she was kind of working on that while I was building the furniture. So all of these cushions remove, and then I've got storage underneath. And I have a table cut out that still need to install. I'm trying to design some kind of cool mechanism so it'll pivot and hide underneath the couch here. But for now I'm still working on some other things to get finished first. And then this will also double as a spare bed. This cushion comes out and you can slide it right in here and make a spare bed if you got someone traveling with me. And design this to be a little bit of an ottoman so I can put my feet up, have a mouse pad here, and yeah, have this as a little home office. But yeah, otherwise this is command central with the kitchen. I tried to make everything as ergonomic as possible. I've got dishes up here, and then pantry over on this side. So it's 72 square feet that I have. That's actually smaller than most tiny houses out there, but I'm actually finding it's more than enough room. I have a nice big bed, which is one of the main things that I was really looking for, is something that really feels like my bed. So it's actually the size of a king-size bed, and then the rest of the space is multi-purpose: kitchen, living room, dining room, whatever, home office. I tried to just ergonomically design it for just wherever I'm standing. It can kind of become a bit of a different space. So yeah, this has kind of been a work in progress for the last few months anyway. A lot of it's been just building up more confidence with the power tools that I'm using. And so with the complex windows that I started doing was really just trying to add some really interesting detail that people are going to see from all of different angles. This is one of the new windows that I put in recently. The front window, I really wanted to do something curly and Hobbit-like to kind of match the back, and then it was only almost 9 months after I started the van that I wanted to punch a side window in to add some more light. I wanted to do something really complex, so I spent, probably 10 days designing and making all that. So it took twice as long as the van took just to do this side window, but it ended up really cool. I designed this window that's got a triple hinge in it that kind of looks like this weird butterfly thing as it opens up. This mechanism, it's kind of got 3 different axes of movement. It's mainly designed to be a bit of a showpiece, so you just kind of push on it and these kind of butterfly out to the side. With the side window, I was parked up in France at the time, and so biking by all these big French cathedrals, these high Gothic kind of things, and looking at all these beautiful rose windows. And so I wanted to do something like that, where it's some kind of diffusion of light, where it's kind of hard for people to see in, but then I get a decent amount of light without actually collecting too much heat. And so, I was trying to have some kind of perforated surface rather than just one big open window that's going to turn the van into a greenhouse. And then up top you can see the wind turbine. So this generates most of my electricity. It's a 300-watt turbine. When the wind's going, that thing is generating more electricity than I need. Otherwise, there's 2 solar panels as well that help generate electricity. And then this little kerosene heater keeps me really warm in the winter. I got this thing up to 40 degrees Celsius one time just to see how hot I could get it. I'm going to try and switch it to electric. With the power that I'm generating from the wind turbine and the solar, it's going to be more than enough to run an electric heater. This oven was donated last summer, and it's far better than anything that I've ever had when I used to live in apartments. And we have a few different apparatuses for coffee. Got the full-on espresso machine, AeroPress, grinders, pour over. I have a bit of a problem. I live out of a suitcase so much of the year, so kind of doing this for a long time. For many years prior to this, I was really trying to figure out what are the bare essentials that I need while I'm over in Europe for a month or 2 months at a time. It's like, well, I've got my bare essentials suitcase. It was actually an additive process rather than a subtractive process. I was worried it might be a bit small at first, but now that I'm getting to live in it, I'm finding it's more than enough room for what I need. What I love about it is it really encourages you to spend a lot more time outside, which I think just improves quality of life. It's not that you don't want to go into your home, it's more that you feel so much more connected to the outdoors.